Let's see. It also, Frankenstein's Monster also happens to feature the fucking coolest game over sequence to on the console and is well worth demonstrating.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah, so please die. Eventually.
I have 2 more lives.
Have you played Atari today?
Well, we have quite a special show for you tonight. We've got Atari 2600 games. Not just that, a specially picked, hand-curated, handcrafted, special selection of games from our friend Cass at Bad Game Hall of Fame. Yeah, she's kind of an expert on the whole bad games thing, and when I mentioned that we would be starting anew on Atari 2600, because we don't really have any experience with the system whatsoever, she was all like, okay, here's a list of 52 games for you to play. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, there's also a ton of notes, and I will be reading through them throughout the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have notes, we have annotations, little historical tidbits. It's like we actually know what we're talking about, when really we don't. Let's give the people what they want with Atari 2600 games. Pictured here is the earliest Atari game. I believe this was the Pac-Man Combat. This is one of the few games where I actually did play on the 2600. Yeah, we got a few categories. We got the good ones, the bad ones, the weird ones, and the prototypes. For reference, this is what the game looks like. I mentioned it before the show, but this is a 2-player only game featuring 26 variations. You can fight tanks, planes, jets, or my favorite mode, which is the one huge plane versus the 3 small planes. It's so pointless. If you play this, and there actually is a second player, the second player will win. Because there's just more bullets. There's that fine white noise I love so much.
That is just what this is, wow.
Yeah, it's different pitches of white noise.
So I want to do a shout out to Cass, because when they gave us the games, they gave us a lot of information about the games, which is great. But they also gave us a cracktro text, and they have shout outs, so I'd like to shout them out here.
Okay, shout outs time.
Shouts to Ant, Bobinator, Krungo, Ites of Merch, Shark, Tyzo, and Whoop. Fuckings to fascist hacker fuckers and rebellion development. Also, maybe fuck you to Nintendo too.
Maybe just a slight fuck you. Yeah, Rebellion Developments, the developer of the most recent article at Bad Game Hall of Fame, Medal of Honor Underground for GBA.
Yes.
Do check that out. It's pretty entertaining. Me, I have friends at Rebellion, so I will remain neutral.
So Combat's a good game, and it's also a normal game, so...
Yeah. Okay, when the numbers start blinking up there, that means the match is almost over, so get in a few more kills.
Okay.
I'll let this naturally play out. And what you see here is, front to back, a full Atari 2600 game. Oh, it just takes your controls away and then starts color cycling.
Bye.
That's the kind of technology we're dealing with here. These games were extremely tiny, extremely limited, and yet developers pushed the hardware to its limits and past its limits in what they were doing. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and move on over to our curated list. We got the good, the bad, the bizarre, and the prototypes. Let's start with the good. Here we got a game called Berserk. You familiar with this game?
Yeah. There's a lot of, am I thinking, did the arcade version of this game have a lot of yelling, or...
It did. Yeah, it had voice acting, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
all the robots would yell at you. They would say, get the humanoid.
Alright, our special guide from Cass at Bad Game Hall of Fame says, Berserk, 1982. A conversion of the classic arcade game. Personally, I rate the Vectrex version as the best ever version of the game, but this 2600 version is still super rad too. I didn't know Vectrex had a version, that's cool.
Yeah, apparently so.
A few screens of this game should suffice, unless y'all happen to love Berserk as much as I do. Evilotto lives.
Yeah, this is a surprisingly playable conversion. It has the 8-way firing, the fact that you go from room to room. There's no scrolling in this game, so it's a pretty basic design that translates well to 2600. You can't touch anything. Not the robots, not the walls, certainly not Evilotto, if he should ever appear. Let's hope not. But yeah, a simple design in arcades that made for a pretty good translation to what actually is an 8-bit system. We looked this up beforehand. I thought it was 4-bit or 2-bit or something.
I thought it had to be... I'm like, naturally it's got to be 4 bits, right? I mean, you know, just by natural progression, but no.
Alright, what don't we see here? We don't see many colors. There's no music. A lot of these games there is no music, unfortunately, so just hum along if you want.
Berserk, you're going berserk with the robots, watch out for evil Otto. There, you got your own vocal theme for the game.
Nice, thank you. But generally, this is what you can expect from 2600. Simple games that nevertheless sound extremely horrible.
Yeah, I keep turning the audio
I meant to
down
say
lower.
that nevertheless play pretty well. Yeah, this one, I can see the appeal here. Just an endless runner.
I don't know if it's an endless...
It's basically Temple Run. Alright, don't touch the walls. I like that it loads up a new room every time you die. A fresh challenge. Also, the enemies can shoot each other and run into walls themselves, which makes an interesting wrinkle. Alright, I'm gonna shoot the last dude here and wait for Evil Otto. Now, in the arcade, Evil Otto is a smiley face. I think it should be the same here. An unkillable smiling face who wants you dead.
Ooh, creepypasta.
Now, in addition to having English voices, the arcade Berserk was so popular, it was translated into French and German. And man, if you've never heard of German Robot, you gotta hear that game. It's really good.
I want to hear that.
Oh wait, maybe Evil Otto doesn't come out on this difficulty.
Maybe.
Could be. Let's try Game 2, because that's a thing. These games weren't just singular games. There was a game select switch on the system that lets you switch between a ton of different variations. For combat, there was more than 20. Some games there were more than 50, so you'd just be buying one cartridge and get like a billion games. There's Evil Otto!
Oh.
Look how sinister he is.
Sick and twisted.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna make it. Oh god! Well, now you know true horror at the hands of Berserk and Evil Otto. Other fun trivia, this is the first video game to have claimed a human life.
What? No. You pull that back. What the fuck?
Someone actually had a heart attack while playing the arcade version, and they died. Unfortunately, the first victim of video games.
Damn,
So a lot of notable things here. Alright, let's move on. Game number 2. Dragon Stomper.
Dragon Stomper. Bobinator has written an article about this, so let me put that in chat, and...
Well, okay, the game just started here. By the way, I'm going into a lot of these games completely blind. Looks like I can use right to fight.
Okay, info here. One of a handful of cassette releases for the system. Playable only with the addition of an expansion peripheral for the hardware, also produced by the publisher Starpath.
The Starpath Supercharger. Yeah, it was a cassette add-on.
And while the whole proposition becomes fairly pricey for a device that only ended up supporting a total of 12 games, Dragon Stomper alone may well be worth it for the price. It's a highly ambitious RPG for the hardware, complete with an overworld and random battles.
I was gonna say, this seems like an RPG, but that didn't seem possible, this being a 2600 game. Yeah, look at this. You got little waypoints you can go to, and it actually has text? Good god, text.
Yeah, Cass mentions it's probably a bit too much to go into depth in the stream here, in especially a variety stream. But yeah, it's an RPG.
That's super cool. Yeah, it's an RPG where you control a dot. Uh-oh, spider. This must be the random encounter. Oh, it's got hit points? What is this madness? I'm hurting him. Wonder where my hit points are.
Well, you killed the spider.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm in the swamp. I'm in another swamp. Alright, earlier I killed an enemy and I got a cross. Man, can you actually use your items? Let's use the cross. Feels weird! Same. I'm just kind of bumbling around with these games. You don't need to tell me that I'm being weird.
Also, you hit left for status, according to
Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, look at that. 400 gold, 15 strength. Got a lot of dexterity.
Oh, you missed a spider.
Who knew that there was a turn-based RPG in the 2600?
It's down, actually. The down is how you get it.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob.
A key.
Strength is your HP, by the way.
Ah, I see. Well, can we go in this castle? It's locked. Well, we have a key. Open door. Hey.
Cool.
Oh. Oh my god, I fell into a trap. Fight. There's nobody here. Oh, I took damage, though. This is amazing for many reasons, because I just said all these games are extremely simple, but this is not. This has complexity. It has text, an overall quest.
You got a cross? Gonna feel weird?
Oh, I can donate to the church. How about if I just pray? Oh, no effect. The Atari gods are not listening. Can I go in the water?
Oh no, a slime.
There's enemy variety? Stats? I feel like I've entered a weird world.
Ooh.
I'm Mr. Big Shit now. I got a staff. Let's use it. It feels weird.
Damn,
Oh no, Colin! Oh, it's a fearsome creature.
Oh no!
Let's use the staff on him. Oh, I lost it because I used it. Use the cross then. It feels weird. Why don't we use let's throw gold at him.
Okay.
No effect.
Damn. Codeman says, fun fact, this is by one of the developers of Skate or Die.
Oh, nice.
A charm.
There is so much to this game.
There
and it's,
is! We're gonna be here forever.
Yeah, I should move on, I guess. Still, Dragon Stomper, super impressive. What the hell? Next up is... Alright, this has got to be a mistake.
No! Cass has a very strong opinion about this.
Okay,
and
it's in the good folder, so we have to... Cass, what is your argument here?
Cass says, the most misunderstood video game of all time. All time.
Uh-huh.
Howard Scott Warshaw was a certifiable genius, and E.T. is... well, it's not even his best game, really. More on that later. But it's honestly totally fine. Blaming the crash on this title and not on Atari just generally having dogshit business practices is revisionist history. Oh, we're in the weeds here, man.
But look at him.
No, Danny. The accompanying manual is well worth a read, too, as it features a foreword written by none other than E.T. himself. Oh, his mechanic is there, too.
Oh my god.
Plus a simple explanation of how to escape the pits.
Well, let's play this game.
Reportedly, when Howard pitched the game concept to Steven Spielberg, the latter's immediate response was, "Couldn't you do something more like Pac-Man?"
So even Steven Spielberg thought he was doing a little bit too much with this game. Alright, well this is a game where you're E.T., and it's kind of an open world kind of thing.
It is.
Yeah, you explore all these different screens, and of course, there are many pits that you can fall into. And this is where the challenge lies. To get out of the pit, you gotta hold the button and then hold up. Now the problem is, once you exit a pit, you're probably gonna fall right back in. You can kind of solve that. I said you can kind of solve that by holding the button as you ascend, but that doesn't always work. There's also a radar at the top of the screen that tells you where essential items are, so of course I'm going the wrong way. Let's go in this hole.
There's a lot of heated discussion in chat.
Here's
People
the thing.
agreeing that it's not that bad, and other people being like, "Oh, fuck you, it's bad." Well, maybe not like that.
It's
Also-
kind of fascinating. In recent years, people have made discoveries where they argue that it is much more coherent than people give it credit for.
I agree
There's
with
even
that.
a couple of ROM hacks that make it easier to play and more accessible. But you keep falling in the dang hole!
Well, also important to note, as Atari Spot in chat says, E.T. was made in 5 weeks.
Yeah, very, very short time.
For a game made in 5 weeks, I think it's amazing.
I got thrown in alien jail. If that happens, they take away any items you have. Now, I think the goal is to collect a telephone and a couple other items, and then you can call your spaceship and go home. The thing is, all these items are randomly distributed in these holes, so you actually do have to jump in the damn holes and search for them.
Like, for 5 weeks, I gotta say, this is pretty amazing.
Found the thing. There we go.
I could not do this in 5 weeks.
5 weeks, sure. Yeah. The thing was, this was very, very highly anticipated and marketed. It had a TV commercial. It had to come out alongside the movie. It was a huge, huge blockbuster, or was intended to be. Mm-hmm. And they made way too many of them, and people weren't that interested for some reason. That little dot I picked up, that's a Reese's Pieces. Singular Reese's Piece. Mm-hmm. A Reese Piece. Other things that might throw you off is if any part of E.T.'s sprite touches these holes, like his head here, it goes right in.
I saw that!
Yeah, collision detection does not work in a traditional way as you might expect. You have to shift your way of thinking. Oh, come on! Because it's actually a great game.
Listen, here's the thing. Here's my hot take that's actually probably pretty reasonable. Thank you. It's not the worst game ever made. It absolutely is not. Trust me. I
have played worse.
Yes, you have.
Once you know the goal here, you can work towards it. It's not necessarily easy. I think at one point you find a radar that helps you find different items, but man...
Yeah, I think Smeps makes a point. E.T. is more of a symbol of the coke-fueled terrible business practices by the Atari company, and it is. Because this isn't the devs' fault. They actually had 5 weeks, and this was before Unity, as I think Sankun mentioned. This is before any of that shit.
It's clear the executives had a different idea of how long it takes to make a good game, and clearly release date, it was much more important than any kind of quality.
Blab asking if this is better than Bubsy, and,
No, Bubsy is better than this.
And, Avery mentions, hey, you have to jump out of the holes. This is a mascot platformer, so...
Bubsy never went in the hole. Bubsy's never been in the hole.
I agree with Ides. Like, the issue with this game is that it, like... They also mention, Ides mentions how, like, you know, Plan 9 is considered the worst movie of all time, while Battlefield Earth had the time and the money and $60 million, and it is way worse and way less fun to watch.
Battlefield Earth was pretty bad.
And I kind of agree with that with bad games.
E.T.'s gonna die! E.T.'s dead.
Well,
they shook him to death. Oh, there's Elliot. Coming to cry over. Oh, gives you a little bit more life. Lucky me.
Lucky you.
Yeah, this is the entire gameplay loop you're seeing here. Get the Reese's Pieces, fall in the holes, fall in the right holes, because you lose 300 health whenever you fall in. So you have a limited amount of time to make all this happen. And of course there's multiple difficulties, game selects, to make it more difficult if you really want to. But that's really the long and short of it. It's E.T. for the Atari. On the internet, we mostly know this for several reasons. It was the AVGN's nemesis game for a long time, before he finally reviewed it in AVGN the movie. Even there, he acknowledged that it's not as bad as other games that he's played. So even with its legendary status, you have to admit that there's something here. Oh, Elliot fell down the hole.
Well, Last Cassidy in all caps has hollered that we're not playing the game right, so...
Oh, we've made it now.
We have made it now.
No one on Twitch says that.
No one on Twitch plays the game correctly.
Well, if you want to look into it, it's out there. Go play E.T. for the Atari and find out that it's just kind of there instead of being awful.
And Smeb says, E.T. died in a ditch, the end.
Yep, he died in a ditch many, many times. I'm just going to let him stay in this ditch. You can roll around, die a slow death. I don't really care.
Yeah, screw you, E.T. Fatal Run.
Fatal Run, 1989.
Alright.
Well, this here is pretty interesting because the Atari died a death with the video game crash. Then Nintendo brought the industry back. And then Atari was like, hey, we got all these unreleased cartridges. Let's print up a bunch and release them through 1990. They kept releasing these games through 1990. And this is one of the later ones.
Cassidy says, Fatal Run, 1989 Atari. The largest cartridge in terms of allocated space officially produced for the console, and serving as Atari's attempt to bring a behind-the-back racing title to the well-past obsolete console. That said, given the limitations at hand, Fatal Run actually plays and performs quite admirably. The game has a neat little post-apocalyptic setting that's hinted at through tiny text scrolls in the game itself, where your mission is to deliver medicine to survivors of some society-destroying disaster, as well as launching a rocket to save the world.
Yeah, that's pretty unique in and of itself, it having a backstory based in the real world. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, never mind that though. The driving actually runs and feels shockingly good for the 2600. Probably the best the console has to offer if you're willing to overlook the fact it came out nearly 5 years after anyone really cared enough to push the envelope.
Yeah, this was after Rad Racer on NES, which is what I was playing around this time. But, man, it really could have been worse. I've seen way worse attempts at racing on the 2600. Here you got that simulated first-person view. You got competing cars. You can go pretty fast. And it even feels decently fast, believe it or not. Can you fire? No. I imagine there's more to do, but for now, let's drive. I guess there were a few other decent Atari 2600 driving games. Night Driver, I remember being pretty okay. And within the system's capabilities. And this is large, huh?
Yeah, this is a massive game.
What are those meters down there?
Well, one's pink, one's blue, one's yellow, and one's green.
I'm doing good on blue, but I don't know about everything else.
Yeah, your green's really low.
One's the, if this is the Sims, one of those is the toilet meter. I gotta go find a toilet.
Your car's gonna piss itself.
Yeah.
And, interesting fact from Electric Boogaloo, the designer of Fatal Run later helped co-develop your favorite game, Danny, Captain Novolin.
Oh, man. So some real royalty of game developers in here.
Also, this is a PAL-only game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it runs nicely in NTSC. Yeah, it was... After the Atari died, it was really just the beginning for that system.
Whoa, the way you die is cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Is that it? That's it. Game over. Wow, even that's weird, having an official game over screen instead of the game just going dead, like they usually do.
That was cool.
That was cool. Yeah, these games could be decently complex if they had literally 13 years to develop them. That's a long-ass time.
It's a good game, though.
Next up, Frankenstein's Monster. Oh, I've seen this on Angry Video Game Nerd.
Frankenstein's Monster, 1983, data age. Frankenstein's Monster, says Cass, owns bones. A relatively simple little single-screen platformer, to be sure, but the gameplay loop just works, and the presentation for the era is killer.
I'm up there. Okay, I didn't see my dude for a while. Yeah, see me? I'm that little guy in the upper right.
Oh, I see you.
Okay, going down a level. Yeah, the graphics tend to be on the abstract side, so it takes you a while to figure out what you are in some of these games.
Let's see, it also, Frankenstein's Monster also happens to feature the fucking coolest game over sequence on the console, and is well worth demonstrating.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah, so, please die. Eventually.
I have 2 more lives. Ah, that was so polite of you. Please die. Man, look how much stuff they fit onto one screen. There's multiple layers of game. 3 layers of game.
This looks pretty good for 1983.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've seen worse.
What are you supposed to do?
I gotta... Well, I went to the bottom, at which point I picked up a pixel, which could be anything, and my guess is now I have to bring it up to the top. There's a spooky ghost. Watch out.
This looks like the Twitch logo.
Kinda. Oh! What is this business?
Oh, watch out! He's throwing pats at you.
Oh, look! I added a thing to the to the wall.
Oh, I see.
There's an additional pixel there. Well, let's go down and get another pixel. Alright, can I take a shortcut? No, that does not work. That does not work.
No, don't do that.
Alright, I think I'm on my last life here. Really, I'm just impressed that so far, out of all the games, I've managed to figure out what to do very quickly. In my previous experiences with the 2600 and loading up random games, you don't necessarily know what to do just by looking at the game. It's so abstract that the gameplay concepts aren't obvious. It's not like, make the little Italian plumber run to the right. Whoa, shit! Frankenstein's monster's loose! Oh my god, he's huge!
God!
Whoa, oh man, he ate us. Well, we've been eaten on 8/8/18.
So we got eaten on Vor Day, huh?
Yeah, happy Vor Day, everyone.
Happy Vor Day.
Everyone go out and get vored by a Frankenstein. Next up, hey, wouldn't you know it, it's a game that I actually owned at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, back in the 90s, I think we found an Atari at either a garage sale or a thrift store or flea market or something. And it came with a small handful of games. It came with, of course, Pac-Man. Then it had Defender, which was pretty okay. And then it had this, which was my favorite. Like, look how fluid and smooth this is.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with the regular Pac-Man for 2600, play this one, because this is what that game was meant to be. It was also based on an arcade game, which was not developed by Namco. It was one of those Midway exclusive Pac-Man sequels. Actually, I think BBH played it yesterday on his stream, in a weird coincidence. Yeah, this came up on MAME Roulette. The arcade version is horizontally scrolling, and these mazes are huge, so it just feels like you're not making any progress whatsoever. But the weird thing here is the mazes are a little bit smaller, there's fewer dots to gobble. It feels more like a Pac-Man game. So weirdly enough, I would argue this is a case where the Atari 2600 port is actually better than an original arcade game. Weird, but it did happen. What did Cass have to say about this one?
An altogether improvement on the original conversion of standard Pac-Man to the console, even if comparing the original arcade games to one another usually results in folks rating Junior Pac-Man lower. This 2600 version of the game does what previous Pac-Man titles on the console, this includes Miss Pac-Man, should have from the start, a scrolling screen.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that's sacrilege in some circles, but given the hardware here and the compromises the single-screen titles had to make, the design decision here is justified.
Yeah. So they knew what the system couldn't do. They knew how not to make a Pac-Man game, that's for damn sure. And for whatever reason, even as late as 1983, they kept going, they kept trying. And they made something playable. You know what? This is still pretty good. I actually like this.
So do you think it belongs in that good pile?
Yeah.
I
I'd say
agree.
so.
This looks fun, and
E.T.,
this looks fun.
I'll have to sleep on that. I don't know about E.T. Oh, it even does that thing where the items move, and if they move over pellets, they turn them into fat pellets, which slow you down a little bit more when you collect them. So even complexities like that, they managed to translate. This is the definitive version of Junior Pac-Man, as far as I'm concerned. If you want, play the original arcade version, and you will know true tedium. Just tons of dots. So many dots. Well, y'all know what Pac-Man is. Do I really need to keep playing this?
I think we get that. I think we know Pac-Man. But if you don't know Pac-Man, check him out at your local library.
Yeah, get educated.
Mm-hmm.
He just ate a bicycle. That's terrifying. Next up, the Mario Brothers.
Oh, I love them.
From Atari.
Wait, what? No, wait. I guess so then, huh?
Yep, Mario Brothers.
This is a multiplayer game. You can select game 2 for multiplayer, I think.
You want to play?
Do we have another thing set up for it?
It's right over there.
Oh my gosh, well, I guess I'm gonna do Mario.
Game 2, you say?
Game 2 is what is suggestion.
Let's do it. Oh man, we're the Mario Brothers.
We look
the same.
We look so goddamn the same.
Oh man, this requires some imagination to fully get across. Alright, well the turtle's... I guess his stand-up sprite is supposed to be when he's putting his shell back on. Is that a coin? Is that supposed to be a coin?
It is.
I don't know if I have this much imagination, Alex.
Well, I think I'm gonna die soon.
It's cool how you can die instantly twice. Fine.
Wow. Luigi. Once again, Luigi died.
Luigi is dead. Let's reset. Here, let's try this again.
Okay, one more time.
Oh boy, yeah, all the mechanics are here, but just in such an abstract fashion.
Oh, it's so abstract. Oh, there I go.
Like the POW block, it doesn't even say POW on it. You just have to know that's what it does.
Now I'm just trolling you. I'm sorry.
Okay, I POW'd those turtles. Can we beat one level of this?
No.
Hey!
Hey!
Oh my god.
Yeah, that 60 frames per second flicker is definitely an issue with showing this off because.
Oh, good. Yeah, both the characters are flickering because it's hard to put two moving characters on screen at once. So sorry about that. Occasionally, it's the enemies that flicker instead. So you'd have to have some kind of flickering in your game if you're making an Atari game. Alex putting on an impressive performance.
Oh,
we made it to
really
level
good.
2. I'm happy.
Exactly, Quill Coyote. If Luigi is so great, why is he dead?
He did die. Rest in peace, Luigi.
Yeah, Ripperoni.
The death of Luigi.
Alright, Cass says, what can I say? It's probably my favorite arcade game, maybe even my favorite Mario game, full stop. And this Atari 2600 conversion is totally serviceable. Agreed.
It's actually fine.
Sure.
It's better than I thought.
Sure, the jumping doesn't feel right, and it may not have all the enemies and features of the original, but it's still totally recognizable as Mario Brothers. Probably my pick for best cooperative multiplayer on the hardware.
I love that all the
prefer
coins...
combat.
The coins are... Here, they actually look like coins, but earlier they were squares.
I like the squares, though. Hey, you did it.
It's like art, you see.
It is.
It's the pixels you don't see.
Sasquatch says, after the year of Luigi, it's the death of Luigi.
Okay, here's the thing I don't like. You get pushed forward a pixel every time you jump straight up. That's not accurate.
That isn't it. I like the way they just, like...
Yeah, they just flop over. Now, if you want to play an actual Arcade Perfect version of this, they released it on the Nintendo Switch. You can get this for $8, courtesy of Hamster and their Arcade Archive series.
Yeah, Dog IRL, this is a jazz of video games.
Yeah, you just gotta have some imagination, man. Wow. Well, other conversions of this game, including the NES version, they have problems, but... Ooh. This is a whole nother level.
Alright, you want to move on to the next game?
Yeah,
We've
let's
got
move
a lot
on.
to go, yeah.
Outlaw, 1978.
Let's see. Cass
Straight
says,
from the 70s.
Cass says, Atari's take on the arcade gunfight, as reconceptualized for the 2600 by one young up-and-coming David Crane.
This is Outlaw. I mean, Gunfight. Yeah, it's just the sprites are way bigger. Also, I think this is a two-player game, so you want to get this on.
While the original cabinet was a light gun shooter with a choice of two distinct characters. Sorry, this is... I don't think I can play and read at the same time, so I'm just gonna...
Just mash the button.
Cool.
I like how everyone is like, they got their arms out, like they're ready to draw.
So, you're a sharpshooter, and I'm a quick draw according to Cass, so...
I like that you can bounce the bullets off the walls. That's very much like combat.
Oh, nice.
I guess this would have been impressive in 78. You're controlling these huge characters. They look human. Double kill. This is stupid, but I like it. Also worth noting that Combat, this, and a whole bunch of other Atari games are two-player only. You did! You won! For a lot of these games, there's no computer AI. You have to have a second player. And I guess it was first to 10, at which point the game just shuts down. Once that happens, you can't start it up again. You have to actually go to the console and hit the reset button for a lot of these games. Reset acted as the start button in many cases. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's alright. Pressure cooker. Oh my.
Cass says, I would maybe call this Activision's most underrated 2600 title. Not that I've seen folk being particularly harsh to it or anything. In fact, nobody seemed to talk about it at all. Developed by one Gary Kitchen of Keystone Capers fame.
How appropriate.
Yes. It pits you in the role of one incredibly overworked burger cook, non-stop stacking sweetmeats and toppings. This should serve nicely as your obligatory cooking game for the stream.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, I'm cooking.
This really reminds... This one, I saw Danny playing this earlier, really reminded me of modern games. This definitely seems...
Yeah, instantly we thought of Overcooked, which is pretty similar. You get all these ingredients, you assemble them. It looks like we need a
tomato.
I wish I could say what these are. I know that one's a tomato, this is a lettuce. But you also have to have a top of the bun in addition to a bottom before it lets you pick it up.
Put it on the red one.
Okay. I missed that one, but whatever.
Please let this poor man rest.
Alright, let's drop this down the green chute. Okay. I get you.
Battlehork says, this is Burger Time Clacks. I can see that.
Alright, I'm not really explaining what I'm doing, but is it at least evident?
Yes, you're picking up items.
These ingredients, they go across the screen, and you gotta pick them up and make burgers with them. Well, it keeps throwing me ingredients that I don't need. I just need the whatever that is. You know, the jalapeno pepper.
Yeah, I don't know if it looks like an apple to me, but I'm like, is it supposed to be an onion? Does someone want like an onion burger?
I need some burger tops. Someone quit throwing me tomatoes. Send me the tops of burgers. Burger tops.
I like that one messed up burger that you have going there. Oh.
That burger was like lettuce, tomato, lettuce, tomato, lettuce, tomato, cheese, lettuce, tomato.
Press holding down on the button lets you kick ingredients back, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Daniel, let's try again.
Let's try that again. Alright, we need one with cheese, one with whatever the fuck that is, and then another with the mystery ingredient. This one has music, it has complexity. Yeah, get the hell. Get... No. Oh, no, I needed that one. I'm not very good at this.
It's okay.
There we go. Kick it down the green chute.
Burger.
It's kind of interesting that there's parallel screens working here, too. Like, you gotta keep track of a lot of stuff. I don't want that. Give me that. I don't want that. No, Can I throw this in the garbage? Oh no, my burgers.
Your burgers, watch out.
My burgers are going to hell.
Your burgers have... No! There you go. There you go. You got an onion.
It was a noble sacrifice. Is that an onion? Is that
Yes,
what that is?
it's an onion burger.
Delicious onion burg. Do they penalize you for putting more stuff on it that people don't want?
I do not know. Probably. I've played a lot of these sort of games, like, casually.
Yeah, most likely.
And they're typically like, oh no, you put the wrong ingredients on and now the customers are yelling at you and you've lost Diner Dash or whatever.
Yeah, this is surprisingly a lot to...
destroyed.
Oh, damn it, it was supposed to be in green. It's a lot to keep track of. This could be nice and, frenetic, as the journos say.
Do they, Danny?
Has anyone described the 2600 game as frenetic?
Well, they have now.
Give me the top of the burger. Yeah, good. Saved it. That burger will not go to waste.
No burgers left behind.
Oh, I got this now.
This is such an interesting game.
I'm the burger master.
Cass, thank you for including this.
I like this. I've never played this, and yet it's really easy to catch on. Not necessarily easy to master at first.
So it's like, okay, so it's not like Othello, which is, you know, it doesn't take a minute to learn, a lifetime to master.
Yeah, that's also not shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like Othello. Oh, 4 in a row. Did they disappear?
Ah, you won!
I did it!
Nice!
Cashing in.
Alright, well this is a good game.
This is my favorite so far.
Same.
I really like this. Oh, it makes you do multiple ingredients now. This is nuts!
Ah.
Okay, but we gotta move on.
We
Pressure
do.
cooker, very much recommended. Raiders of the Lost Ark, I know I'm gonna hate this. This is one of those games where you need the instruction book, and also you need 2 controllers for 1 player. Why don't you hand me that controller there?
Of course.
I know that much so far. I don't know how else I'm gonna do this.
Alright, so Cass says, what some regard as Howard Scott Warshaw's masterpiece, and Spielberg approved to boot, requires 1 player to operate 2 controllers simultaneously, with the second serving as an inventory select.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Boils down to a series of incredibly cryptic puzzles as you guide Indy on his quest for the Ark, navigating across a surprisingly large game world given the hardware. All that being said, I don't actually much care for this one. I can't see anyone back in the day beating it without just resorting to the guide and the manual. And after beating it, there's really no point in playing it through it a second time.
Okay, I picked up a whip on the first screen, and then I went here, and I got what looks like a key from this basket. These traders here, I think they will trade certain items for other items, but oh, good. I just dropped everything I had.
Whoa, cool.
What is happening?
What? I like that.
Is
Who
this
are
just
they?
ET? Do I have to go in the holes? Oh no, they slow you down.
Well, hey there, buddy.
I don't like whatever he's doing. I really don't like that.
What's that? Can you move?
No, I had to reset. Alright, so we start off, he gets lifted into a thing, and then you go on this screen and you collect this, which is a whip, of course. Still haven't figured out how to use the whip. Can you go up? No. I know at one point you need to get a bomb, and you gotta blow up the side of the screen, even though the game never tells you to do that. Again, gotta have that manual. Okay, I have a grenade. Oh, maybe I can actually do that. Wouldn't that be amazing? Alright, I'm selecting the grenade with the... I'm holding two controllers right now. I feel like a
sure
dumbass.
is. He looks like a magical... You look like an advanced cyber gamer. This is like some TAS shit or some speedrun shit.
I dropped the bomb, but it didn't do anything.
Mm.
Well... Oh! I figured out how to whip. That's the whip.
Pew, pew. You can barely see it probably on the stream.
I killed the snake!
Hey, he killed the snake.
I hate snakes.
Oh, the famous line said by Steven Spielberg.
Why did you bring snakes? Classic line.
Classic line, Indy bangs on a table. Me hate snake!
Well, if you have a few years of your life to spend figuring out how this game works, more power to you. Their life ain't long enough. I believe you that it's good.
Yeah.
Next up, River Raid. Oh, now this is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a game that's self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm. Cass says, everyone has probably heard or seen of River Raid at one point in time or another. I reckon it's only because it's highly influential in the old top-down shooter genre folk have come to know and love, and also because it's still a fun little challenge of a title. You can thank one Carol Shaw for this one of the early female programmers in the industry and one of Activision's early hires after going third-party.
Oh, nice.
Famously...
Go ahead.
Famously, while still working under Atari, President Ray Kassar noticed her while touring the offices and remarked, "Oh, at last! We have a female game designer. She can do cosmetics, color matching, and interior design cartridges."
What the fuck?
Needless to say, Carol did not give half a shit about this sort of subject matter, and went on to develop this million-copy selling shooter for Atari's rival instead.
Yeah, so she heard that and was like, fuck you, I'm gonna invent shoot-em-ups.
Yeah, she went on... I was reading about Activision, and Activision was basically disgruntled Atari employees, sick of being treated like shit. And they kind of formed... If I recall, they formed after the unionization efforts went bust at Atari.
Ah, that's why you gotta have a union.
Mm-hmm. Because what happened was David Crane and some of the other programmers went on to do Activision. And if someone knows more about this or knows where I'm getting this wrong, please just fill me in. They went to Atari and were like, "Hi, can we have residuals for the games that are making you a ton of money?" And Atari was like, "No, and fuck you."
Not only that, but we're not going to let you credit yourselves either.
Yes, that was
a major thing.
Yeah. And so, yeah, thusly, they all decided, screw you, Atari, and formed Activision, creating some of the best Atari games for the system, if not the best games for the system.
Mm-hmm. Jeez. Talking shit on the lady who invented River Raid. Unbelievable. That guy. I hope that guy's in hell now.
Damn me, but yeah, same. This is a great game, too. This is...
Yeah, I haven't talked about the gameplay, but you have this fuel meter. In order to replenish it, you gotta go over these fuel strips. The thing is, you can actually shoot them, so you need to be a little bit careful with what you shoot. But overall, it's really easy to shoot things, easy to pinpoint what you're aiming at, and you can actually control your speed by holding up, at which point you'll crash into something. But yeah, it's super easy to get into. I would say this is still even a little bit compelling nowadays. I could see going for the high score in this. It would still be fun.
Yeah.
Nice varied terrain. Really simple challenges, but just the controls and gameplay really make this. So thanks, Carol.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks to Carol, it's because of that nowadays we can enjoy death smiles in Dodanpachi.
Yeah, Oakenfork said, thanks, Carol, for Toho. So.
Yeah, Carol Shaw invented Toho.
Alright, you want to move on to the next one?
I guess so. I was having fun.
Oh, I know. We got
Room of Doom.
50 games. Okay, I like the lizard.
That is a lizard, isn't it?
Sure is. Room of Doom. One of my other top contenders for best arcade game is Nintendo Sheriff. And while this game isn't exactly a clone of that title, I would venture to say it's at least heavily inspired by it. This is another one of those obscurities that I rarely see mentioned in discussions of the console, which is a shame because I really do find it very addictive. Developer Comavid would unfortunately only release 6 other games for the hardware, plus a mostly unadopted programming kit called Magic Card, with their title Video Life serving as one of the all-time rarest cartridges for the console. Oh, they did Video Life? Shit.
I have no idea what's going on, Alex. Yeah, this is one of those games where I do not know what's going on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Nothing I do seems to do anything. There's 2 figures fighting in this arena, I guess. But they're just doing it on their own. Oh, no, wait. Silly me, it was in demo mode. I was tricked into thinking an actual game was going on. That's the thing with Atari. Sometimes it enters a demo mode and it acts like it's playing, but it's not. Alright, I'm the little pink figure here. And it looks like you have to... It looks like you've been thrown into a Roman Colosseum-style pit, at which point you have to fight a dinosaur.
Well, all these other guys are trying to kill you. Also, cool photo in chat of Carol Shaw from the Carol Shaw Papers, working at a computer in 1981. That's actually a cool photo.
Alright, I see this here. So you're being chased by a dinosaur, and you gotta kill your pursuers who are trying to rifle you. This game's pretty dark. You got a bunch of serial murders trying to kill you from the outside, and they throw a dinosaur in there.
This is like some Black Mirror shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching Black Mirror. Yeah.
We cloned dinosaurs, but what we did with them will shock you.
It's because
We gave them cell phones.
Oh no! Well,
Why did we give the dinos cell phones?
now they've all got depression.
Okay, I killed everyone, and you advanced to the next level. That's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, alright. A nice predecessor of the twin-stick shooter, only with 1 stick. But do you need more than 1 stick, really?
I don't think we do.
I don't think so.
Yeah, let's go on.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
Spider-Man!
Alright. Cass says, I know, the angry video game nerd tricked a diarrhea dookie on this game.
Oh, he sure did.
While getting spit on by the Green Goblin or something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
What the hell with that, because this game is totally okay by my books. Yes, you occasionally over-undershoot your mark on the skyscraper and end up losing some altitude, but I reckon that's all part of the challenge. I find this to be a totally serviceable take on the Crazy Climber formula, and I reckon I've sunk more hours into it than I care to admit.
This is Crazy Climber-esque.
Also complimented by one of the all-time great TV commercials advertising the release. I missed that in the compilation for the intermission. Damn.
Alright, so the climbing mechanic for this is a lot more complex than you'd imagine. You have to push up or down to ascend or descend, and when you shoot your web, you have to hold the button and then release the button when it's on a spot that you can grapple to. If it's not on a spot you can grapple to, you start falling. And that's the main frustration with this game, because you spend all your time falling. Still, I can see something here. This could be decently fun once you master it. It just takes a while. Is that the Green Goblin? I think he's green, it must be.
Yes, it is! It is the Green Goblin!
Oh, wow, nice. Oh, I can't... Oh, whatever. Now, what makes this game fun is actually catching yourself when you're about to fall. That's actually pretty satisfying. You can just shoot out a web in the hopes of catching yourself, and often you can. Look, they didn't have much. They didn't have much to capture the appeal of Spider-Man, so they did what they could.
Was this game on other consoles? Because I swear I played it on something that wasn't the Atari.
I don't know.
You know, I'm gonna look this up.
Anyone have any tips on how to beat the Green Goblin?
That's as far as I've gotten. The bomb box at the top with your body only.
Oh, God. Yeah, the complex stuff comes in when you try to swing left or right, because he'll actually do this thing. A visual triumph for the 2600. You know, I wonder if this is better than the official 2600 Crazy Climber. I know they released that, but it's apparently pretty rare. Oh shit, oh shit.
Oh, Magmaram's got some tips. To defeat the Green Goblin, shoot at him until he dies.
Okay, I'll
Thank
hit the
you.
shoot button.
Got it, got the bomb.
Whoa, I got a bomb. Oh no, oh no! Splat.
Yeah, swing time indeed. Also, thank you to Coconut81 for the sub. Really appreciate it, even though Danny is just...
I am shit at Spider-Man, but thank you. Oh man. It's so precise, you can't be off even by a little bit. Oh no! Still, I kind of like this. I can tell that it's a mechanic that you really have to invest some time into to really understand how it works. And that's nice for these kinds of games, because usually you don't get any complexity whatsoever. Oh, that was a cool save. I'm glad the bombs can blow up and nothing can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Dude. Well, Spider-Man, you're going on a real great adventure here. Shall we move on?
Yeah, that's Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, including just falling straight on his ass.
Starship from 1977, our oldest game so far, except for combat.
Yeah.
Okay, what the hell is this?
Okay, Cass says, the earliest title I've included in this compilation, and yet it might somehow be one of the most immersive. I mean, yeah, it's as primitive as can be, but there's something to be said about objects flying towards you in first person in the main game mode, and having to either shoot them down or quickly swerve out of their way. The cartridge also features 2 different games within, Warp Drive and Lunar Lander, as well as a variety of multiplayer configurations wherein one player works effectively to attempt to sabotage and toss extra hurdles at the other as they play.
My god.
That said, the main attraction here are games 1 through 4 in single player, if you just briefly want to show them.
Well, this is a game where you go forward and then you run into something and then you die.
Yeah.
That's game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2 is this. It's like much the same. Don't hit me. Don't you hit me. Go.
Oh, flashing. That wasn't so bad.
I can't seem to fire. I don't think I found the fire button, which is a problem because there's only one button. That's the thing that pisses me off about the games that you can't figure out, because it makes you feel stupid. There's only one button on the damn controller. And yet these games are so complex sometimes. Alright, that's game 2. Game 3 looks like this. Is that the Enterprise?
Yes.
Is that a space frog?
Yeah.
There's the Enterprise. Oh,
Killed by the
Khalil
Enterprise.
killed everyone on board. I'm doing a great job dying here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, how many variations? Here's game 14.
Jeez.
What the fuck? This is totally different. Alright, so this is a story of the space cookie. Cookie Monster, depicted above, has to descend to eat the space cookie.
Do you think he can do it?
He can't do anything.
No one can do anything here. Oh, he got a space cookie!
Oh, I can actually move in this one. I got the cookie!
We did it, Danny. We did it.
I got it again! Yeah, often these games will have game variations that are nothing like the other games. They just reuse the graphics. I think that's pretty interesting. Got the space cookie. I'm happy with that. Superman. Now here's a game I don't expect to figure out. I've heard this is infamously, like, just really obscure.
Yeah, let's see. 1979 here. Cass says, another one of those games beloathed by kids who played in their emulators without looking at the instruction manual. Why, back in my day, never mind. Just take my word for it that this game is decently ambitious for its time, and historical as being the first superhero video game to see release.
I can see that.
Recollection.
Yeah, so what we just saw there was a cutscene. Superman saw a bridge explode, and then a bunch of dudes took off. And I guess we gotta find him. Right now I'm Clark Kent, but if you go into a phone booth, you're Superman.
Whee!
You can just fly everywhere. Now, what's messed up about this game is that there's a huge, huge game world here. And you have to go and pick up these pieces of the bridge and put them together. And then I think you have to find the bad guys and, like, physically place them in jail. Like, you have to fly around the damn city and put people in jail. But mostly it's transporting items and people from one screen to another. And unless you have the entire game world mapped out in your mind's eye, you're just going to be lost. Because look at this. It just keeps going. Everywhere. Up, down, left, right. All a different screen. That's pretty impressive. That's some bang for your buck back then. But, yeah, to us ROM kiddies who are just playing this out of curiosity, you're not going to get anything out of this.
We felt it was diarrhea dog shit.
Yes, this was a diarrhea dog shit. I would literally rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in my ear.
That sounds pretty cool. Why did I say that?
That sounds like a lark.
That sounds like a gay old time.
Let's go down to the nature preserve. Oh, there's a piece of the thing. There's another piece of the thing. Oh no, I found the pieces, but I lost where the bridge is.
Oh no, there's a map of this online if you ever, or maybe it's in the instruction manual.
Oh god, I got a bridge in Lois Lane. Look at this. I'm just assuming.
Where are you going?
I wish I knew.
Yeah, we do not have enough time to really do a nice full run through of actually like.
Maybe someday.
Someday, yeah.
Maybe someday. Oh, I found the castle from Adventure. Cool.
Oh, nice.
Alright, Superman is the king of the castle. Next game.
Congrats.
Alright, we got 3 games left here. Let's go with Title Match Pro Wrestling.
Alright, this is by Absolute from 1987.
Whoa, look at this.
It's multiplayer, too. So, I'll read the description here from Cass. What you gonna do when Skinhead runs wild on... Oh, wait, that name certainly doesn't hold up, does it? Neither does that one part Apache and one part Hulk Big Chief, by my estimation. Oh, yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah, and, pick one of 4 inappropriately 80s wrestling gimmicks and grapple in either singles or tag team matchups against the computer or your wrestling partner of choice. It suffers from a syndrome of trying to map what feels like a dozen different actions to a mere joystick and single button.
Alex, look at this character select screen.
Okay, Mr. I know it's supposed to be Mr. Mean, but it looks like Mr. Mern.
Mr. Hearn is what I see.
Mr. Verm.
Also, his head is burned.
They're all frowning!
I want to be Mad Dog.
Why are they so sad? Why are they so
here you
sad?
go.
Oh, God.
Let's wrestle.
Alright, I'm gonna be Mr. Mern.
You're not going to be Big Chief or
I'm not-
Skinhead?
I don't want to be the racist character now.
Oh, maybe you have to pick a tag partner.
Oh, God.
Tag up with Skinhead.
Shit, I don't like this.
Alright, here we go. I'm carting you around the ring. Cool. I like that everything shakes and makes noises when you toss the other guy around. Oh my god, you knocked me out.
I won. Oh my god, I switched myself out pretty easy.
Okay,
too. Oh, how did
it
I
is
hit
tag
you?
team wrestling. Oh. Oh no.
This is a good wrestling game, and I'm not
You
just
won.
saying that because I won. I'm actually, once you figure out the controls, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, you gotta hold the action button. Jesus Christ! Fuck! Stop! Holy shit! Alex just slamming the shit out of me.
I won.
Sheer brutality out there on the mat tonight.
Okay, you want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
Okay, so to switch tag partners, go down, press down over your partner, and then press the action button again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, otherwise you hold the action button and push left and right to punch, up to grab, and down to kick.
Down also pins, too.
Oh, I see. Jesus Christ. Alex just generating the fuck out of me. No.
I'm so good at this game, what the fuck?
I think we found Alex's game. Yeah, this is impressively detailed. There's even a crowd. Look back there. You could play as multiple characters. You could pick up the other dude and just slam the fuck out of him until he's dead. I like that.
Pin me!
Oh!
Pin me! Keep holding it.
1, 2.
I got up.
Hey! Alex is just playing with me now. This kind of rules. I didn't expect to like this.
This has actually been one of my favorite games. Yeah, do this exactly, Oak and Fork. Put this in Evo.
Oh, now you're screwed. Or you're just gonna generate the fuck out of this guy, too. Slam! Oh my god, I'm so screwed. I'm so screwed.
This game rules!
I like this. This is good.
Hey, no!
This is where Fire Pro came from. Come on. See, it's all about timing, not button mashing. It's a thinking man's wrestling game.
No, it's basically about button mashing.
Yeah. These two giants of wrestling just beating the crap out of each other in the squared circle. Oh, he's got those educated feet.
Yeah, they went to community college.
What a debacle. Man, I guess... Oh, man!
I got out of it.
Acting like it's my fault.
No!
You win.
Wow.
You win. Alex with a decisive victory, and me with a new favorite 2600 game.
Love that.
That was weirdly fun.
Thank you.
Jeez.
Thank you for putting that on the list, Cass.
Wizard of War. Here's a game that I'm familiar with.
Alright.
This was an arcade game, and it had digitized speech, which I don't expect to survive over this version.
That game, according to Cass, that game also has top rope moves. We're going back to that.
Damn.
Alright, Wizards of War. According to Cass, another conversion of an arcade standard, which manages to do an impressive job of preserving the gameplay of the original. It looks simplistic, but the gameplay is still addicting as all heck.
Yeah, it got all the gameplay in here. You go around a maze and you shoot these creatures before they can shoot you. Anything else?
However, where the original arcade game really stood out, in my opinion, with its competitive cooperative multiplayer, where you can choose to either work together or to survive the perils of the dungeon, or turn on each other while also being flanked by a squad of baddies. I would like to request that you try to play this game in its multiplayer mode, since I'm not sure if it features a simultaneously two-player, or just some alternative mode.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Alright, I think this is the two-player mode.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing about the arcade version is it's co-op. If you have more firepower, of course, you have a better chance against the enemies. But if you happen to shoot the other player, you get a massive score bonus, like, often enough to get an extra life. It's like... So it gives you a ton of incentive to hunt down the other player, in addition to hunting down these creatures. Aw, they got to you before I could. So yeah, you have this uneasy alliance going on, where at any time, if the other player will, if they can take advantage through a big score boost, they can just shoot you.
Nice.
There's also the fact that the enemies can turn invisible, which is a problem. But overall, fairly interesting game design. Nice, a nice element of the prisoner's dilemma in here.
Yeah, someone saw that mentioned in chat. Did I shoot you?
I think you did.
I didn't mean to!
It's okay. It's war.
Well,
Spelled with an O.
This wizard has warred out.
Yeah, not bad. Actually, I can't think of anything that's left out from the arcade game. Oh, it's even got that weird bird thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it doesn't have the interstitials or the voices, but in terms of gameplay, it's all there. And let's finish things up here with good old Yars Revenge. Now
Alright.
this game, I'm familiar with this game.
Let's see. Cass says, now this here is Howard Scott Warshaw's masterpiece cartridge, if you ask me. An altogether novel take on the shooter genre, where you must negotiate with a neutral zone in the center of the screen and play within both opposing sides of it in order to destroy the monolithic Utile.
Can I get him? Missed.
The final blow must be dealt by positioning yourself in close proximity to the Utile.
Got him!
Ooh, weak point, nice. And calling a cannon fire from the other side of the screen on your location, at which point you must dodge your own incoming shot in an attempt to land it on your foe.
Yeah, that's kind of a neat gameplay gimmick there. Yeah, I didn't really explain what I was doing here, but what you have to do is shoot from either in front of or behind the battle line here in order to deplete this guy's shield, which is visually depicted here. And then once you've gotten the shield down... Oh, I don't want to be hit by that. You can run in there, tap the guy... Oh, damn it. You run in there, tap the guy, which summons, if you look on the left side of the screen, it summons a little missile over there, which you then deploy by pushing the button, and with the right timing it'll hit the guy, and you'll go to the next level.
Yar originally began life as an attempt to convert Star Castle to the hardware, until Howard decided to go in a unique direction and develop his own original take on the genre. I hear that there's a gritty remake of the game that's came out in 2011 that I meant to take a look at some point. I'd like
Yes,
to see
there
that.
it was for Xbox Live Arcade. I'm really curious how they adapted this gameplay to that.
Paul, is the neutral zone really a visual of the game's code? Because that would whip ass.
It seems like it, doesn't it? It just seems like a random mash of stuff. But I can't think of any other games quite like this, blending an element of battlefield strategy to just straight-up shoot-'em-up gameplay. Also, you have this pursuing cursor who's always after you, so you have to constantly move around. Can't stay in the same place too long. I like Yar. In fact, you know what? I think I might like the 2600.
You know, I think I do too.
The games I've played so far, they're pretty good. The wrestling game was super fun. Combat's a classic. This, you can't argue with Yars Revenge. Seriously, this is one of the best 2600 games. And even E.T., it has something beneath the surface, even if I'm not sure if that's something anyone wants to experience. It's there. It is a video game, despite what people tell you. Alright, I'm gonna take out one more Yar here. Oh no, wait, I'm the Yar. I'm getting my revenge.
You can do it, Yar. Also, fun fact from Electric Boogaloo, Yar is Ray spelled backwards, and who was the president of Atari at the time? That's right, Ray Kassar.
My god. Got him! I still got it. Yeah, Yars Revenge, very playable. Kind of unconventional. I'd say worth tracking down if you haven't played it. It'll give you a real idea of what the 2600's all about.